Alright, this is the keying tutorial which teaches you how to use green screen effects. I'm sure this is probably the one that most people are more interested in because you can do all weird stuff with it. You should have 4 clips: the Croc Back, Croc GS, Jet Flyby, and Sky Back clips found in the resources for tutorials. We're going to start with Croc Back, drag that to Make New Comp, and you'll see here a very non-threatening driveway. And what we're going to do is we're going to chuck a crocodile on it because, you know, that's normal. Croc Back is our background. Croc GS is our green screen crocodile. We're going to drag that into our composition. And you see it's a little bit big, so we're going to scale it down by clicking on the corner and then holding shift and dragging till it fits. It's about that big. And you can see it looks pretty rubbish at the moment, but we're going to add our effect. So effect, keying, hit the key light option there. And now we have screen color. So green is the generic color that most effects will use because green, this bright green, doesn't generally appear in nature very often. So we're going to click on this eyedropper. Click on that. And you'll notice it's gotten rid of most of the background, except for these very little edges here. So we're going to have to apply a bit of a mask to fix that. But let's just play it and see how that looks. Oh, very realistic. Huge. That's got to be, that's Hollywood quality. All right, we're going to add some masking to this. So hit this pen tool up here, and then we're going to start drawing around. No, we're not. That didn't work because I didn't click on my layer. So I'm going to click on that, press delete, and I click on my layer first, and then use my pen tool, and that'll draw my mask, as you can see. And I want to get it right on the edge. Otherwise we might cut out some of the animation that the crocodile is doing, and right to the end, join them up together, and you'll notice it automatically cuts out everything in the background. Now you can use masks in the opposite way. So if we click on this little arrow down here, go to masks, and we can see our first mask here. That's the one we just drew. We can invert it and only allow the outside to be visible, but obviously that's not what we want for this scenario. So we're going to leave it like that. Now if we click away from our mask, you'll notice that the edge is gone and it looks a little bit better than it did before. Our crocodile's, you know, doing all crazy stuff, and yeah. Now you'll notice that my camera work is pretty rubbish because it's all moving and the crocodile's not moving. So if you want to fix that, we're going to just freeze frame it at the beginning. So we're going to go back to the Croc Back, and we're going to go right click, time, and freeze frame. And this will allow the camera not to bounce around so much and look stupid. Cool. Now it's pretty simple because we've got a pre-keyed image and we didn't have to play around with any of this stuff. But for example, sometimes if you make your own green screen footage and we don't have perfect lighting, you might have to play around with things like the screen gain, which will cut out sort of any additional features like shadows or too much black. And if we go the opposite way, then you'll see that the green isn't being cut out. But this tutorial has a nice, easy piece of footage that we can easily key. Most of the stuff you'll download off the internet will be easily keyed out using just these settings here. So that's our first one. That's our crocodile. It's incredible stuff. Go File, Save As, call it Green Screen 1. And then what I want you to do is make your next little green screen selection. So what we can do is we're actually going to hide these using the eyes because we don't care about them anymore. And we're going to make our next green screen effect, which is going to be a combination of animation and green screen. So we're going to use Sky Back and Jet Flyby. I'm going to highlight them both, drag them in, put them at the top. And this is what we got so far. And this Jet Flyby is not actually in the right spot. So what we're really going to do is we're going to delete Jet Flyby. And we're going to open it up by double clicking on it up here. And then we're going to move to where we find the correct jet flyby. So we don't want doing that because that would mean we're above the jet and the jet can't fly that low. So we're going to find one that fits for us. That one looks good because it's going to fly over us like so. So we're going to start it back here, about there, so that it's just blank, and we're going to hit the start in point. And then we're going to move this till the jet goes past. And we're going to set the out point. Brilliant. Now we're going to drag that into our composition. And we'll just have the bit that we want. Incredible stuff. Alright, we're going to add our green screen effect, obviously. Effect, key light, choose the green. And now should have our jet flying overhead, but it is in the wrong spot because it is flying through roofs and through trees and through power lines at the moment. That's impossible. We're going to move it so that it's going to be in the right spot. So click and just move it up. And we're going to move it out and up a bit more, I think. Probably make it a little bit bigger so that it has some room to fly in and out of the screen. It appears just there, so I should probably move it over a little bit. That's better. Now it looks like it's flying in and over our house. That's cool. Not really. There's our jet flyby happening, but no jet is that quiet. So we want to add some sound effects to this. And to do that, we need to go and find ourselves a jet sound effect. So if you go to your resources for tutorials, grab the jet fighter flyby sound effect, put it into your project pane. Now we can add in a sound effect. So click and drag it down. Doesn't really matter where you put it because it's sound and you can't see it. But to hear it, you're going to have to press the RAM preview button because playing it will not play anything. However, if we were to hit the RAM preview option and have a listen, it's kind of out of sync. So, firstly, that jet is just flying way too slow, but I'm not really going to fix it for this tutorial because we're going to do time remapping later. I'm just going to move the audio to fit it. So let's play it again. So it's a little bit slow. I'm just going to move this down a little bit. Try that again. That works, except there's a bit of a blank spot at the beginning here. So that's not really going to be perfect. However, we can fix that by cropping. So we're going to click on this little start work area option here. You're going to drag it forwards. And then we're going to right click and say trim comp to work area. So now our sound will start a little bit earlier. And that works. Now we've got a lot of wasted space back here too, so we're going to move that using this trim comp work area thingamajiggy. And we're going to move that up here to about there. That's good. That'll fit everything in. And right click once again, say trim comp to work area. And now we should have our really slow jet flying past. And if we turn the eyes back on down here and hide these ones, we should have. Let's just turn off the sound effect because that will be annoying. And play that. And there's no sound anyway, so it doesn't matter. But we've got our two green screen effects happening. They're just on different layers, and we turn them on and off to preview them. Okay, so that's how you can do some real basic keying green screen effects, and it's a simple way of using your footage. Okay, save your work, file save as, and make sure you call it green screen practice, and that's this tutorial done.